Okay, so as an addendum to the Snow White as a Vampire video, I wanted to show you guys how I created her fangs. So I think you can see I'm turning this layer on and off, and I actually think that I might make these fangs a little bit bigger for the demo. But what had happened was Jen had ordered fangs, and they showed up, and they were just like too big. They were double. They didn't fit her mouth. So I was like, don't worry, I don't think this will be too hard. So this is how I did it. So I'm going to turn this layer off. I add a blank layer, and it's really pretty simple. I'm going to hit P for my pen tool, and now I'm just going to grab my pen tool and I'm going to draw out a tooth. I'm actually going a little bit larger than the last one. Once I've got my tooth drawn out, I'm going to right click within it, make it a selection, and I'm only going to do like 1 pixel feather. Okay, so I've got this shape here that's pretty close to the shape that I want. Now I'm hitting S for my stamp tool. I'm going to make it fairly small, and I'm just going to stamp a tooth in, so sample her other tooth, and I want to get some of the lighter side. You don't want to get into the back of the mouth, so you could sample from other teeth. And I'm just going to, whoops, that one's a little too dark. And I really just kind of sample in the tooth. And if I do a Command H, I can get rid of like okay, so the reason I do a selection is because it allows me to do my work and without going outside of the lines, keeps me from coloring outside of the line. So basically, say, there we go. That's not bad. So now I'm going to do a Command D, and I did a Command H to hide my selection, but it was still active. So let's say I could make this tooth bigger. I can do a Command T, and I can hold down Shift and maybe pull it down a little bit, and then push it back into place. I can make it a little fatter if I want. Let's see, that looks pretty good, and then just hit return. So there we go. We've got a nice big fang. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can go with this. And the other thing is if I decide that this fang is just a little bit like not quite bright enough, I'm going to go to my actions. I'm going to run a dodge and burn action, and you can get a dodge and burn action anywhere. Like, you could just get these and off the internet, but I think I might have had a video that shows you how. But I'm going to take my dodge and burn layer, and I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to clip it to my fang. And now I'm going to hold up my brush tool. I'm going to hit Default for X, black and white. I'm going to hit X for making white my foreground color. I'm going to hit the 10 to make it 10%. I'm just going to kind of brighten her tooth up a little bit. And the reason I clipped it, you see this is clipping, is because now, look, nothing happens if I brush outside of what's on that layer. The reason I'm doing 10% is because I like to make these kind of subtle. Like I can do a little bit at 20%, maybe just brighten that tip. And while it doesn't really look like much happened, you could see it's actually quite a bit. And that's it. That's how I make the fangs in Photoshop.